to the lounge. So how we doing?
Outstanding.
Fantastic. So I guess the best way and the easiest way for me to not break into a full-on sweat is if people would just line up if you have questions about life, Arrow, Spartacus, wheat cropping. Is that? I don't know. Whatever you do, I can tell you how to make wheat bread. I don't know if you need help with any of that kind of stuff. So, first question. Hey, hi John.
Katrina. Oh. I'm going to try to avoid feedback here. Hopefully we're doing okay. All right. Katrina, one of the things looking at your website that is a big deal for you is that you have a sort of mixed ethnicity family, and that's very much been a part of who you are and growing up and becoming who you are. So I wonder if you might talk a little bit about that. I'm sure you have a different perspective on it now than you did when you were a kid, but sort of your interactions when people come up, because I've seen your comedy and you talk about that, and it's really funny. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
Sure. So I don't know if you all know, but I'm half Asian, and my mom is from Taiwan, and my dad is Italian and German, and he grew up in Philly. Yay. So to this day, my dad doesn't quite understand my mother because she can't really speak English that well, even after being here for a while. So life is interesting, but yeah, it's been great growing up diverse, because when you have diversity in your household, it just kind of makes it easier for you to want to travel and see the world and have two different points of view. My dad's Catholic and my mom's Buddhist, so two huge mixes of religion right there. So it just made things a lot of fun and really interesting, and a lot of comedy, trying to watch my parents interact. So. Hey, what's your name? Oh yeah, it's on. Oh!
No, it's not on. Yeah, it is. It's on.
This might get painful, guys.
For Arrow, is there a certain superhero that you would like to see?
On Arrow? I don't know if she's a superhero, but I think it would be a lot of fun if they introduced Talia, my sister, because I think there would be so much drama and just fun, and then if they could somehow bring my dad back, oh, the family drama would just be great, and I think watching the two of us duke it out would be hysterical. Don't lie, little liars. Hi, how are you?
Good. My name's Adriana, and I was wondering if you knew what was going to happen next season on Arrow.
I do. Zach.
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched.
Yeah, something's happening.
We should be better.
Go, Karen, ask your questions in order.
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched season 3 finale.
Okay, wait. I think let's put everybody on the spot. If you want to ask a question, you have to come up to the stage. Yeah.
Alright.
Hey.
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched season 3 finale. How do you feel about Malcolm being the new Ross?
I think it's a big suck situation. And I feel like I got robbed. Okay, first of all, John Barrowman is amazing on set. He is one of the biggest pranksters on set. He's constantly just goofing off and just doing really inappropriate things at any given moment. So working with him is just, it's so hard to try to keep your face straight during any of these scenes. And during that last episode where we're basically challenging each other well, I'm basically saying, I'm going to be coming after your title, you better be ready. And he's saying, bring it. And we had to just have a stare down. Say hi to everyone.
Hello. Okay, earlier this year, real quick, at ComicCon, I got to ask Stephen Mallon a question. And it was kind of funny when I asked him what he thought about the wig he had to wear in the flashbacks. Huge reaction. I asked him,
what he does for fun on set. He said something about asking the director what's in the can all the time, like being on the camera. You pretty much answered my question, or my wife's question, who was the biggest prankster on set? You said it was Barrage. Is there anything you do to have fun on set? To like play pranks on anybody?
I feel like most of the pranks are left to the boys, just because they're boys and they do boy things. But no, one of my favorite John Barrowman stories though is, I forget which convention it was at, but somebody was dressed up as the Green Arrow and they went to the bathroom and they're doing their thing in the costume, and then somebody just runs up behind them and whispers in their ear as they're going to the bathroom, "You have failed this city," and then runs away. And it was John Barrowman who ran up to a man who was doing his business and then left. And it was just funny because nobody even saw it. Well, the guy didn't even see who it was, so somebody else that was doing his business next to that guy had to tell him what had just happened. But that's John Barrowman for you. So I feel like he does enough for everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, cutie.
What was it like when you were on your own?
Arrow.
What? When I worked on my own? My own...
Arrow.
My own arrow?
What was it like when you worked on Arrow?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Arrow is fantastic. You ever been to Vancouver? Probably. No? Well, you should go there one day. It's so pretty. You would love it. But being on the set of Arrow is amazing. The entire cast is just so much fun. Stephen Amell is hands down just a stand-up guy. He's sweet, he's charming, and he's very welcoming on set. So when you get there, his level of professionalism basically trickles down to everybody. So everybody on set works at his level, and he has such high standards for himself in the show that it really elevates everything. And the women on the show are wonderful, and they're lovely and fun, and it's great being around such strong women, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Plus the costume is pretty cool. Got anything else? That's it? Okay. Hi.
I was wondering if the actors have any fun with the, well, you guys get back and forth from the mainland to Daniel Carvajal, like you're driving the mall and back. Is that ever discussed among the actors?
You know what? We just get to a point where we don't ask questions anymore. Or if it starts getting a little out there, we don't understand. We just, the general consensus is we don't ask questions. That's kind of how it goes. And we kind of figure in the comic book world, if you can bring dead people back to life, why can't I go back and forth to Nanda Parbat in 3 hours? I feel like it's justified. Hi.
Hi.
How's everyone doing? You're all good? Your costume is amazing. Hi.
Hi. Last couple of years, in ComicCon, they released a 3-minute video, and I was wondering when you're going to get back to work on set of Arrow so they can make that 3-minute video. When are you going back for season 4?
We start shooting season 4 in July 17th, I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah, it comes out in October, so we're getting back to work really soon. Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
That's how we are. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Long day.
Drank a lot of coffee.
You are a Jill of all trades. You do it all. Did the martial arts that you had in your younger years turn into what you now learn in for martial arts?
It definitely helps to have a martial arts background. I have a black belt in Taekwondo. So it definitely helps knowing what a sidekick is and how to do roundhouse spins and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing that helped me out with the stunt choreography on Spartacus and on Arrow is I've been a dancer since I was 3 years old. So a lot of the fight choreography is like learning a dance routine. So I feel like that helps me out more than the actual martial arts.
I have 2 more questions. One, I met Katie about a month ago, and she was telling me that she wanted like some flashbacks between Nissa and Sarah. So I was wondering what Nissa would like to see, if she, like anything, what you would like to see out of that, like her coming back, like your reaction, anything like this. That. And my second question is, when are you going to sign the divorce papers?
I think flashbacks are mandatory. I don't know what show it's gonna happen on, if they happen, because I really don't know if it's gonna happen, but I just feel like everybody wants to see the Nasara backstory. I want to know what the backstory is, and I don't know the writers have kind of talked about it, so whether or not it comes to fruition, that'll be yet to be seen. But I would love to know how Sarah ended up on the shores of Nanda Parbat, and what happened, and how their relationship developed, and what eventually made them fall in love with each other. Plus, I just think the League of Assassin backstory is cool. So, it would be great. And, you know, as far as Liz is concerned, I'm sure she had the pen ready to sign those divorce papers before the wedding even happened, because I think if she could have killed him during the wedding, she would have. So, I think she's ready for anything except what's happening right now. Hi.
In the future episodes of Arrow, do you see him changing his name to Green Arrow?
Probably. That's a little above my pay grade. I don't know, but I would assume yes. Because they've gone from like the hood to the arrow. So I feel like they're kind of progressing into that. We shall see. Hello again.
I was wondering if you had been one of the producers for the show, then who would you have picked to play it?
If I had been a producer of the show and I had to pick somebody to play Nissa, I totally would have picked me because I'm awesome. Hello.
You're awesome in the show, and you were awesome in Spartacus. You had this opportunity to play like really strong, really kind of badass female characters, which is something that we kind of lack in television today. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
My questions are, one, when you were training for these two roles, which one do you find the most grueling in training regimen? Like the gladiator school or the...
Spartacus, okay, so let me break it down this way. On Spartacus, we shot in New Zealand, and I lived down there for a total of like 2 years, and New Zealand doesn't have a union, so it's kind of like the Wild West of shooting, and some of the stuff that we did down there, there's no way we would ever be allowed to do it in the States or in Canada or any place with the union. And then when it comes to Arrow, they're very, very aware of actor safety and protecting the actor, and also the insurance company and the union, that you're very protected. So, and then by nature of Arrow being an episodic with 23 episodes, it moves very, very quickly. So a lot of the stunts that you see on Arrow are done by the stunt doubles, just because we don't have 3 weeks to learn the choreography or 10 fight routines for the one episode. So a lot of times it's been rehearsed by the stunt team, so by when we film it, they literally do it once or twice, and it's shot. And then they just kind of like stick us in there, and we do a couple of moves here and there. Now on days when we do have time to learn our own fight choreography, we do that, but most of the time it's like this train that's just kind of rolling. Whereas on Spartacus, we had months. We had months and months and months and days off, so we did our own choreography. So in that regard, Spartacus was very grueling because we did boot camp for anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, and it was 8 hours a day, gut drills, sword fighting, knife fighting, arrow training, plyometrics, all this other stuff. So by the end of the first week, you were so sore you couldn't walk. And then as the season went on, you constantly had to learn your fights. And then on the days you were shooting your fights, because you didn't have stunt doubles, you actually did your fights anywhere from 12 or 8 to 12 hours a day. And when you do that a million times, you start getting injured. So when I came out of it, I had a torn rotator cuff, I had plantar fasciitis, my back pad on my heel was split. Another guy had a pulled tendon. It was mayhem. It was totally worth it, and we had a great time doing it. But when you're done, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I kind of hurt. Whereas an Arrow, you just kind of watch your stunt double be amazing.
The man actually answered my second question. I was going to ask who would win in a fight, and he said, well, you're going to play.
So would wipe Mira's butt. Oh my gosh, it wouldn't even be. I mean, Mira would try. She'd try real hard, but it wouldn't even be a contest. Hi.
Who would you like to see playing Talia over?
I think Olivia Munn would be amazing. I think we would have, first of all, I hear great things about her, and she's a lot of fun from what I hear, and she has a great sense of humor, so I think the two of us working together would be great. Plus we both have freckles.
I think you guys would have a hard time keeping a straight face during shoots.
We would work it out. Hello. I'm fantastic. It's my third. Yeah, I'm not joking around. Yes. that's like 3 or 4 right there. It's happening.
Where's my share of this coffee?
You can have it.
Okay, well my question for you is there any chance or tiny hope that Diggle will ever be like Gold Arrow or any type of superhero other than just Diggle being awesome?
Yes. I do. I think there's a chance. Nope. Sorry. Hello again. It may happen though. Don't let me dash your hopes and dreams.
Your character, this girl, she's a higher-tier demon and an assassin, but in the last 2 seasons she saved Starling City and Team Arrow's bacon. Do you anticipate it with the big bad in season 4?
Mrs. Journey on this show has been so much fun because when she first appeared, you didn't know whether she was a villain or a hero or whatever, and I think as time proved, you just kind of saw that she had her own agenda that really had nothing to do with Starling City or Arrow, and basically she kind of picked on that day what she considered to be right or wrong. And I think her meeting Sarah Lance has been a huge influence on her life, and it's really changed her outlook from what she viewed life and the world as and what the rules were from her League of Assassin days to having a much more sympathetic view and kind of being more empathetic towards people's issues and problems and the wants and needs for the good of people. So yeah, it's been interesting. So I can't, because I feel like Damien Dark wants to be the next Rachel Gould, and that's definitely not on Nissa's side of good. So I kind of see them having a couple of issues.
We found out that Damien Dark was Ra's al Ghul's enemy. Is he Nissa's own enemy as well, do you think?
I think anybody who wants to be Rachel Gould is her enemy.
Sometimes on these type of panels, with the Arrow panels, they'll get asked a question, and the actors all stop and look at the producers. Can I answer this? Has the producers given you any spoilers that you can share with us?
Nope. Hi.
Outside of the Arrow world, are there any projects coming up that you're going to be working on, or will we see any movies coming up? Or are there any projects that you would like to work on?
I have a new horror movie that's coming out soon. It's called The Dark Ones or something. I don't know. They keep changing the title of it every 5 seconds, but that should be coming out in the next couple of months. I'm going to be going back to Philly, because I'm from Jersey. I'm going back to Philly in August to do a comedy, and it's written by two of the writers from South Park, so that should be a lot of fun. And then I go back to Arrow. Hello.
Sarah Lance, Oliver Queen from Mary Now. Legends of Tomorrow. Are you going on that? Sarah Lance is back.
You know what? She is back, and she has not called me. So, I think that's also above my pay grade. I don't know what they're planning on doing between the shows, but I feel like between all 3 shows, it's built so that people can cross over, but that doesn't guarantee that my character will be there, but I hope so, because I want to see my girlfriend too, you know? I miss her. She's been gone a while. Hello. Yeah.
Just wondering if you can let the meal go.
Are you trying to find out if I'm worthy?
Yes.
No.
Now,
and I'm prepared to run if you can.
I can't, apparently. Apparently I can't.
The guy who executive weapons security.
Oh. Huh. Maybe you get a defective one. No? I mean, the authentic camera Walmart just happened to find it. It's cool, it's cool. We'll just go with it. I'm not gonna ask too many questions. Got it. Hi.
Katrina, you're one of several folks that have gone from Spartacus to Arrow. It seems like those families are very connected. How has that come about? Is that just coincidence? I'm guessing not.
I think the biggest thing that happened was the Arrow writers happened to be huge fans of Spartacus. So, good for us. Yay. But no, it's been fun because now it's kind of been this little game of trying to petition who the next person's going to be. So I keep dropping hints like, Ellen Holman is amazing. She played saxo in Spartacus, and we already have Nick Tarabay, who's one of my really good friends. He played Asher on Spartacus, and now he plays Captain Boomerang. So he's there, and then of course there's Manu Bennett, who's Crixus, and then played Slade Wilson, and then Cynthia Dye Robinson, who was Navia, and now she's Amanda Waller. And then Liam McIntyre, what was this? Weather Wizard, there you go. So he's the Weather Wizard on Flash. So yeah, it's been like this whole world kind of coming over, so it's really lovely getting to work with people that I consider family. End silence. Who's got more questions? Oh, yay!
Would you be willing to do an episode on The Flash?
I so desperately want to work with Cisco, it's not even funny. I think that would be some amazing scenes right there. So about that wheat. Yay!
We keep hearing about these, the women, the Huntress, and other. Do you envision a whole episode devoted to the women?
I sure hope that there is an entire episode where either all the women team up and fight an evil together, or we all just fight each other. One of the biggest things that I love about being on Arrow is that they do have so many strong female characters, and they have agendas that are outside of trying to get a man, which on most television shows, your females pining after a man, crying after a man, in service of a man, or just watching the men go off and have fun while they sit at home and bake a cake. I mean, cake baking is wonderful, and I'm not knocking it, but it's more fun to be able to get up and fight with the boys and do the cool stuff. So I think all the women on the show are very capable. They're all very athletic. Katie Cassidy is amazing. Katie Lotz, she is amazing. You've all seen her stuff. Emily Records is so much fun. Willa Holland has been pulling her weight. It's been wonderful to watch her grow into Speedy.
Apparently, we're starting with the movies.
Okay, that's good. Look at that one.
I was hoping to find out what your process is when you create a character.
So there's this thing we call, it's just called justifying a character. I feel like a lot of times, there's some people that do substitutions, that they replace people with other people that they know in their life and all that stuff. And a lot of times what I just try to do is, if I'm in a situation, story-wise, and it's not something that I would do normally, I try to envision what in my life would have had to have happened for me to get to this point to justify me doing this. Because I feel like one of the beautiful things about acting is that all humans are essentially the same, and it's what happens to you in life that sets you off on different paths. And as much as people would love to judge somebody going off on this path, you don't know if a certain situation had happened to you, you might be that same person. So when it comes to Nissa, there's so many things that she does that I would never do in my own life. I don't view the world in black and white. I think there's a lot of gray area. I don't necessarily think there's a good and bad. I just feel like there's a lot of misguided people or a lot of choices. Or I don't even know if misguided is the right word. So I think it's just about justifying it, just really trying to envision and being sympathetic to humans and what their certain situations are. And if you were ever in that, what would you do realistically instead of coming from the judgmental point of view of like, I would never do that, or he or she is blah. So I think that's how I go about it. Other people, I don't know. To answer anything?
Perfectly.
Okay, cool.
One other question. What's it like wearing that costume?
It's so much fun. My costume is the best costume ever. I love it. So I had this moment when I first got up to Arrow. You know, I talked to the costume designer on the phone, and she's like, "Oh, your costume might look like this, and it's gonna have some panels that could like go like spin out when you do a twirl or something like that, but you can't really envision it." So I go into the costume design place, and then I have about 4 or 5 people strapping things on to me, and I'm not really seeing what's going on. And then they kind of turn me to face the mirror, and there was just a moment where I was like, "Oh my God, I am so cool." It was just amazing. It's the most amazing costume, and it's so much fun. And when I spin, the whole thing goes around, and it just makes you feel cool. Because I'm not really that cool in life, but that costume makes me feel like I am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My question is actually about Batman. You got Daredevil and League of Assassins. Is there any chance Batman's going to be popping up anytime soon?
I would venture to say no, but I don't know because anything is possible, especially with the CW and WB kind of releasing characters and taking characters away. But you never know. I think it would be fun to watch Batman and Green Arrow go at it. And then I could try to steal my sister's boyfriend. How we doing? Oh, yay.
This is just a question that's been driving me through. Whenever you first started getting into this, were you ever into superheroes as a kid? And if not, what was the actor or actress that really inspired you to go into the acting career?
I was never a comic book fan, so I never really read the comic books. But I was a fan as much as any other kid was. So I had the Superman sheets, the Batman pajamas. So I was that kind of fan. And when it comes to acting, I don't think it was any one person or a television show that really made me want to do it. I was a dancer and singer growing up my entire life, and I ended up getting cast in the chorus line as Cassie. And I think the process of trying to find this character and be somebody else and discover what it means to be somebody else, I think that's what actually drew me to acting more than a particular actor. Because I love the process of it. So, I mean, I enjoy other actors, and I definitely have my favorites, but yeah, I think it's just more the process. Yeah, nice glasses.
I was just curious how far ahead you know what the script is going to be. I don't know any spoilers. I'm just curious how far ahead you know.
So in season 3, I didn't come in until the 3rd episode in, and as I was reading the episode, all of a sudden I realized that they had killed my girlfriend. So nobody told me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I called up Katie Watson. Are you dead? She's like, yeah, they killed me. Like, they killed me dead. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I know nothing. It's you.
I'm back with the softball this time. I've seen where Stephen Amell has been at Comic-Cons in St. Louis and Dallas. Not St. Louis, I mean Salt Lake City. And I was wondering, how many these type of events have we shared you with this year? Have you been to other Comic-Cons back east or type of events?
This might be my 3rd or 4th this year, but I have quite a few more scheduled. I've been doing a lot of them in Europe, so that's been exciting. Just because Arrow has such an international fan base, that's been great to meet the Belfast posse, and then going to be meeting the Manchester kids, and there's one in Spain coming up, and I think that's next year. So it's wonderful because you get to meet all of these fans that have the same thing in common, which is just Arrow and the superheroes and the villains, and they all kind of ask the same questions and talk about the same things and love the same things no matter where you go in the world. So I love how this show, for me, has united a big group of people. It's been pretty cool. Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
You said you were from New Jersey?
I am.
So am I. What part are you from?
Cherryville area, near Philly.
Oh, from Deptford.
Oh.
Anyway, since Sarah has not communicated with you in LA, you and Laurel have been making a pretty strong connection last season. Do you think that's going to continue? Like, bond a little bit more?
Yes, Sarah has not called me. A little disturbed about that. But I also think she's dead, so there's that. So it makes sense. When it comes to Laurel Land's character, Nissa has definitely started falling for her as in a friendship type of way. She definitely sees the similarities. What makes Laurel a strong character is also the same thing that makes Sarah. And even though it took a little while longer for Nissa to see the same characteristics in Laurel, they're definitely starting to come out. And in regards to a hero and what your definition of a hero is, I think Laurel is more hero material, whereas Sarah is a combination between assassin mentality and hero mentality. And I think because Laurel is so different from Nissa, it's really making her revisit her views of life and everything that she's grown up to know. So I think that the Laurel Lance and Nissa relationship will definitely continue. It'll just be interesting to see where it goes. You got the thumbs up from Superman. You win.
Has there been any villain on the Arrow or the Flash that you as Nisa would like to fight?
I would love to fight Captain Boomerang because I just think it would be fun to punch Nick Tarabay in the face. No, he loves me. It would be fun to fight though, so. Hello again.
Who's your favorite character from The Flash?
Cisco.
Ask her why.
Why?
Because he's smart and funny and has a lot of personality and he has great hair. So how we doing, kids? Anybody else got some questions? Oh yeah, it's Zach again.
Okay, I don't know how much you know about the comics, The Flash, but do you think they will go along with comics and make Cisco the metahuman revive and Caitlin the supervillain Killer Frost?
Didn't they have some kind of, I don't know actually, so this is just me guessing, so if I give away a spoiler because I happen to be right, it's just luck. But didn't they have something where he kind of starts discovering something about himself where he shatters? So I kind of feel like, yeah?
They've had hints about Cisco vibrations.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like if they're dropping little hints that they're probably going in that direction. But I don't know. I know nothing.
Caitlin becoming the supervillain.
I don't know, but I'm sure if she did, she would have a lot of fun doing it.
One thing that makes me think that is early on in the season, she referred to her and Ronnie as fire and ice. So,
There you go. I would take it and run with it.
Did you always want to be into acting, or did you have other career inspirations as a child?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a cardiologist. And then I decided that I wanted to be a police officer, so I became a police explorer. And then I decided I'm not very good at that, so I wanted to be a shark filmer. And then I swam with a shark, and I tried screaming underwater because I was so scared, and I decided probably not. And then I was going to be a dancer, but then my guidance counselor told me there's no career in dance, so then I went into physical therapy, and then I realized I don't want to massage feet my entire life. So I went for marine biology, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But then I got the course line and I just fell in love with acting. So from there I just switched over and I told my parents. My mom was very thankful because she was upset that she had paid for years of dance and singing, and then I decided to become a scientist. So she was very supportive. So that's how we are here. Hi, cutie.
What about if you do anything Marvel?
If I do anything Marvel? Well, I would have loved to have been Psylocke, but Olivia Munn got it, and she's going to be amazing. And who else in Marvel? I think anything Marvel would be cool. I think if I could get into the Marvel world, anything they gave me, I would be like, yes. What about you? You were a Marvel, what would you want to be? Storm? I think you would look great as Storm. You did? You cosplay Storm? How old are you? 8? When did you start cosplaying? When you were 7? So I missed it. And where are you going to be next time? Ruby? Cool. Well, you look great today. Love it.
Electra.
Oh, yeah, let's be Electra. Nobody? You're like, no. Okay, take that back.
Hello, Neil. You mentioned you were from Jersey. How often do you go back?
I go back minimum twice a year.
Do you ever, this is a stretch, but do you ever go by Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash or anything? Anything to do with Kevin Smith or anything like that?
No, they're more North Jersey people, whereas I'm South Jersey, so we might as well be another state. Like, we root for Philly teams, and they root for New York teams. See? Oh, yeah.
Has there been any pranks pulled on, either on you or you pulled on other people on the set?
No. The reason being is because Arrow is such a fast-moving show that we really don't have time to pull pranks. It would actually be considered a little rude because then you'd be cutting into budget, into other people's time, into other people's close-ups. But what does happen a lot is when people mess up their lines or just don't hit their marks, that's usually where the comedy comes in. For instance, there's this funny moment where I'm sitting in the cell because they just captured me and I'm supposed to be meditating, and the entire Team Arrow is staring at me, just contemplating what they need to do with my character. And Katie Cassidy runs in and she basically has to say, what do you mean you're going to torture her to find out where Nanda Parbat is? But she couldn't say Nanda Parbat. She kept saying Nanda Parbat. And she's trying to just stay and meditate and stay like, and then you have the entire team that's watching you. They're trying not to break character as she goes back and she's trying to say it over and over again, but she can't stop saying Nanda Parbat. So it's little things like that where that's where the comedy comes from. It's not necessarily pranks, but it's pretty funny.
Well, if you did have time, who would you pull a prank on?
I think everybody would pull a prank on Stephen and Mel. I think we would all gather together and just pull something epic. I don't know what it would be, but we would figure it out. So I'll talk about Spartacus because I was on that show more often, so it was more, my character was utilized a lot more. On Spartacus, I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning and I would go to the gym. And at 5 o'clock I would drive to set, and then from 5:30 until about 7, I would be in hair and makeup and wardrobe. And then from 7 until about 7 at night, you are doing scene after scene, and your coverage, somebody else's coverage. You're doing the wide shots, you're doing 2-man shots, you're doing 3-man shots. So it's pretty grueling. Actors are normally there from anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day, and crew is normally there from 14 to 16 hours a day. So there really is no glamour when it comes to the actual making of television and film. The glamour comes on the 5 seconds that you're on the red carpet, where you have hair, makeup, and a pretty dress on, and then after that, it's back to 14-hour work days. So, I mean, we love it, which is why you really have to love acting and the craft of it to do it, because it really is time consuming, and you have to do it, sacrifice a lot to be on set, but if you love it, it's totally worth it. Hi, John.
So 2 questions. One, Stephen Amell's really been pushing on his Facebook page that the Royals fans are cheating for the All-Star game. Could you tell him to stop that?
Yes.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I will send him a text. It'll be good. He'll stop. He probably will.
I don't
He doesn't.
think he will. Yeah. So the other question is, on your Facebook or on your website, you actually have a clip of you doing some stand-up. So one thing I was wondering was, what kind of challenges are there in doing stand-up versus doing sort of on-screen work? What makes those a lot different?
On-screen work is a lot more forgiving than stand-up. On-screen, they light you well, they dress you, they make you look nice, they do your hair for you, they write your lines for you, they edit, they do all of this stuff, and if you mess up, they just say cut and start again. Stand-up, it can be one of the most soul-sucking experiences ever, but can also be so rewarding. I think the hard part about stand-up when you're starting is, if you go up on stage and you tell a joke that you've crafted and you've worked on, if it works, yay, but at the same time you're not really understanding why it worked, and if it doesn't work, you still kind of don't understand why it didn't work. So it's a really long process of trial and error and a lot of failing. And by failing, meaning you're standing up here and everybody's just looking at you and there's no laughter, there's silence. It's terrible. But when you get everybody laughing, it's one of the best experiences ever. Hi. You want to ask me something? She's like, no mic for me. So she wants to know what I do on my free time. I've been working a lot with charities. So I help my friends run the charity called Kid Crusaders, and it basically takes kittens and cats from kill shelters and gets them the medical treatment that they need, and we help them find forever homes. I've also been spending a lot of time volunteering at the local animal shelter. So I basically go there, and I've been with the bunnies for a while, and I think I was telling somebody earlier, those things are vicious. You think they're so cute, but you hold one and their back feet just kind of go and make you bleed. But they're very soft, so it makes it worth it. And then the other thing I like to do is I love traveling. I love going out and exploring nature. I love hiking. I love different animals. I just recently went to Exuma in the Bahamas, and I got to hang out with stingrays, and I got to swim with sharks, and play with iguanas, and take photos with pigs. Who knew? But that's what I love doing. I love traveling, I love being outdoors, and I just think volunteer work is very important. And also I helped out my friend TJ Scott with the In the Tub book, and all proceeds go towards breast cancer research. Yes, I have 3 pets. All of them are adopted from the shelter. I have 2 cats, one's a calico, one's a tortie. They're sisters, they're amazing. And then just recently I adopted a half pit, half lab dog, and he's still a puppy, so I'm training him how to sit, stay, come, roll over, heel, lay down. It's been fun. If I had to be a superhero, I would be Batman. I would look good in the Batman costume. I could pull it off. Because Batman's awesome. And who doesn't want to be Batman? See, we get each other. I think we have time for 1 or 2 more, and then, hi, how are you? Talking to the mic.
So, Steve has been doing like this franchise of Ninja Turtles. Are you
As an actor, I think we all want to join a big franchise. I think I lucked out so far by being part of the DC franchise, so I think life is pretty good right now, but of course, who doesn't want to act with a turtle? It's amazing. Hi, sweetie.
What's your favorite episode of Arrow?
Let's see. One of my favorite episodes is the very first one that I was on, where Katie and I were introduced as having a past relationship. Just because it was my first time on set, everything was new and magical, and I was so nervous. And there's just something kind of brilliant about just being so unsure about something and finding your way through it and having it be a success. So that was a lot of fun. And then I think any episode so far where I've gotten to work with my dad, who plays Rachel Rule, Matt Nabel, has been so much fun. Just because working with Matt is amazing, and when he yells at me on set, it's actually like getting yelled at by my dad, so it's kind of funny. Hi. I'm sorry.
Is it DC Bombshells? They're gonna like have versions of like Supergirl, Black Canary, all those. Is that something you would like to see?
I think it would be interesting to see Nissa Al Ghul as a pin-up character, because I think it was really risque when she even showed her arms on television, because she's quite conservative, and especially with having an Arabic background. I think it would be interesting to see. I don't think it will happen with her character. Not to say that somebody won't go out there and draw it, but yeah, I do think that showing her arms and her shoulders was a big deal for the character. So I don't think that she would ever show more than that. Anybody else? Okay. Well, you guys have been lovely. Thank you so much for coming out here. I'm going to go back and do some more signings. So if anybody wanted to stop by to get some signings or just say hi, that would be cool. And thanks for all the questions. You made this really wonderful.